Come on guys, count with me, let the gods come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And as I heard, some people were even more lucky than me and got not less than 14 gold items from a single run. Crazy, right? So guys, today we focus on the Ministerial Commendation, aka Winds of Change farm, a place which is one if not the best solo farms in the game. You could ask, but Peter, what can you get here? Why is it so special? Well, the first is quite obvious, a lot of unit golds, bow staves, dragon staves, platinum wands, bladed shields, and all are in old school form. This means you have a very good chance to run into something valuable. In short, old school items have great demand even in 2021, and the rare items are sold for a lot of money. See this collection I made, Actos here, Actos there. If mods are perfect like 2020 halves costing times on staves, you have a great chance to get some extra money. The best drop was the Q9 Earth Magic Bow Staff. I sold that for 45 arm braces on Guild Wars Legacy. And if the high number of golds wouldn't be enough, you get Ministerial Commendations too. You can exchange those for a bunch of useful items, Tengu flares, DP removals, weapons, luck boxes, etc. Also, all 10 regular tomes are on the drop list here, black dice, luck picks are quite common too. Alright, let's see the dark side. In order to farm here, you must have a quest called a Chance Encounter. This is the 18th quest in the Winds of Change questline, and sadly you must complete the first 17 quests to get here. But think about that as a small investment. It takes roughly 2 hours to complete them in normal mode, then you can simply turn into hard mode, so no reason to do the hard mode quest for this farm. If you have completed the whole quest line, then it's over, no way to gain access to this quest anymore unless you join someone who still has it. The farm itself is not difficult, but make sure your heroes are ruined, have proper builds, weapons, because in the first part of the quest you'll have to kill several high level mobs, and in hard mode they are strong as hell. For heroes, 2 Surge Mass, 2 Ineptitude LAs, 1 ST hero, 1 Sorcerit and 1 Beep Necro. This is what I like to use, but feel free to mix their builds as much as you like. Alright, let the farm begin. First of all, travel to Kaineng Center and talk to the Herald of Purity. After entering, flag heroes like I do. If you don't know how to flag all 7, check the description, I have a 1-min video about that. Put Mesmer's LA's front, Ritus and Necro in the back. Display the read bars and micro spirits, Displacement, Shelter, Union, Armor of Unfeeling, SOS, Blood Song and Splinter Weapon. This is a great way to mitigate some damage and give the group minor advantage. Anyway, the first dialogue is somewhat longer, on the second one it gets faster, you won't have to wait as much. When the hero setup is ready, stand at these 3 ministry guys and wait for Raiko's dialogue, which ends like this: kill them and the girl. I like to spike these 3 guys as soon as I can to increase my group chances, but to be honest, you can approach the enemies from other directions too. If a hero or 2 dies, no worries, this can happen in hard mode, that's why we have res on several hero bars. And at this fighting part, try to focus on bolt up groups to maximize your DPS, 100 blades works best on big groups. When only 1 or 2 fools left, get ready for the running phase. Micro, make haste on your char and run to the farming spot. Up and down the stairs following the Asa girl Miku. So guys, don't stop or fools will catch you. And when Miku's last dialogue arrives, the one with there is an exit to the east here, then fools can't hurt you anymore, at least not directly. Stop at the stairs, somewhere in the middle or slightly left from the center, just around this brown line. From this point on, you should stand still and not move at all. Some fools will be able to run past you, but plenty will get stuck. Depending on the build you're running, try to stay alive, use regen skills, healing signet, etc. And when all fools are around you, use Ebon Battle Standard of Honor, followed by 100 blades and Whirlwind attack. Then pick up the drops and repeat the farm. Few things to keep in mind: traps and oppressive gaze are the main threats here. Flame trap and barb trap respects armor, but dust trap does not, ergo hard to protect yourself against the latter. Also heavy degen, enchantment removal, plus backfire and mistrust for costers. so only a very limited amount of skills will help in this situation. Generally speaking, all builds you are about to see are very similar: 100 Blades, Healing Signet, Ebon Battle Standard of Honor, Whirlwind Attack, I'm Unstoppable, To the Limit, and the last two skills are profession dependent. For weapons, I highly recommend using a Sword of Defense and a low rank Tactic Shield with extra armor versus fire damage. However, this is a guide for all 10 professions. One thing to keep in mind: coasters have a big disadvantage here due to backfire and mistrust. Doesn't matter what weapon you wield in hard mode, AI will always hex you with those if you are a coaster. This means you only have a short period of time to cast spells without getting damaged, like 2 seconds every now and then. So even though I show viable builds for each class, guys, don't forget melee or range classes shine brighter in this area. Also, you'll see that every run has different fools, sometimes no traps at all, sometimes 2 or 3 trapper rangers. Because of that, as a coaster class, you may die in one run and easily do the farm in the next one. If you wanna know my favorite profession for this, I'd say Dervish, simply because their healing ability is so great with Grant's aura compared to other professions, and also nice armor, great HP regen, and when dust traps arrive, and trust me they will, they can survive for longer than any other charge. Assassin, Warrior and Ranger are also really strong, high armor, great healing, and at the coasters I choose Ritu as the one with the most successful runs. Before I show you the builds, let's see some fair runs and tips to make your runs smoother. Tip number 1 is obvious: bring the best hero build you can. Here I'm talking about not just builds, but runes, weapons and all. Don't be cheap on the 40/40 weapon sets, give them for Mesmers and Delays, that will help much. Next tip: flag heroes and micro skills as mentioned earlier. I can't emphasize enough, this is a game changer. And another tip: start running before Miku does. This can save you precious seconds, and when only 1 or 2 fools left, let heroes do the hard work and get some head start. Also keep an eye on Miku's health bar, and if you see her being crippled, remove conditions with Mend, Body and Soul. Next tip: if you lose momentum or fools are behind you, pop a cupcake. You don't have to use them all the time, just keep them for safety. And my last tips are about the tanking phase. Don't use spells if you're hexed with backfire. I guess you don't wanna lose like 170 HP like that. Also use Healing Signet as many times as you can, but use it smartly. Remember guys, while doing so you lose 40 armor, and if traps arrive, better to wait a few seconds till the fire traps are over and use the heal after that. If your heroes are too close, you know one of their names are not grayed out, you can send them far away with some flagging, open the minimap, zoom, and that's it. The last tip is about hero flags again. Sometimes when spiking fools you'll end up dead, this can happen. Don't worry, heroes can res you, just bring them close to your location and res yourself. Alright, if you accept all my advice, I'd say like 95% of the time you'll be successful. The remaining 5% are the following: Miku dies at the beginning or your group does. Like I said, this is hard mode and endgame content. Sometimes shit happens, but nothing a slash resign couldn't solve. Also possible that Miku stops moving, she simply stands at her original location, or she gets body blocked by the incoming fools. And of course you can get killed by the ministry guys in the running phase, or by the traps, or you can forget about backfire. Plenty of options for a nice death. Now you know everything, prepared for all the possible shit. Let's see how each class performs on this farm, starting with warriors. One of the best choices for this farm: high armor, high HP with Signet of Stamina. Their only disadvantage is the lack of HP regen, but they can still survive for long. Rangers. Fire traps are no threat for them because of their natural high armor versus elemental damage. Furthermore, they have Healing Spring and Troll Agent to neutralize damage. Also, these are not enchantments, fools can't remove them. Top tier class, highly recommended. Monks. Honestly, they are not the toughest class here, but if you really want to give it a try, builds like this will work. Healing Breeze to counter the degen and Shielding Hands to reduce the trap damage. Try to use these 2 spells plus the Ebon Ward when you are not hexed with backfire, and Spike with 100 Blades and Whirlwind Attack. Necromancer. They show some similarity to monks, even though they have great skills to counter HP loss. Backfire limits their chances. Blood renewal can help a bit, also vampiric touch or bite, but spells are not easy to use here. Mesmer. At first I wanted to use either Feast, which seemed like a great idea, then I realized fools have mistrust, so I gave up on that. Rather, I'd go to increase their armor with WOC Signet and Symbolic Celerity. Elementalist. Good old Stoneflesh aura, it works here too actually, except if mobs remove it after 2 seconds. If they don't, it reduces all incoming damage for 0. Quite OP skill. Also allies have the Glyph of Restoration for some extra heal on spells. Assassin. One of the best classes, Dark Escape and Warframe Stability reduces 50% of the damage for 26 seconds, plus a really great regen skill, Shadow Refugee. Don't attack fools or Dark Escape ends immediately. Ritualist. Resilient for Sicko, a very underrated skill. It gives like infinite HP regen due to the high number of hexes and conditions. The Spirit of Rejuvenation gives some healing. Try to place that somewhere far from the stairs. Highly recommended for coaster professions. Paragon. Enduring Harmony and Leader's Comfort. Great armor, bad healing ability, probably the worst non-coaster class in this farm. Still, Paras are able to farm the ministry guys, but too many traps will outdamage you for sure. Dervish. The best of all, great armor and regen with conviction. Even if fools remove the enchantment, you still have a plan B with Grand's Aura. Steals 9 HP from each mob, can heal you for like 300 every 10 seconds. Highest success rate in my opinion. If I'm farming here with my Derv, I'd say 95% of the times I finish my runs. The only 5% is when Miku YOLOs or we wipe at the beginning. Some extra info guys, if you stand at the right place you can body block around 40-45 fools. Roughly 10 will pass, and on average a run takes 2 minutes 45 seconds, and with the reasons it's around 3 minutes. Around 15-14k XP per run, but this is not survivor friendly content, rather try something else, Wild Tears or AFK farm instead. So guys, this was the Ministerial Commendation farm, hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button or subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.